Check it. It's time to empower the women and educate the men. This is the calling that God has begun with. Two individuals he destined to win. So sit back, relax, maybe grab a snack as we speak some facts guaranteed to impact your life. Your destiny is God-given right. So listen up as we speak some truth to you. Guaranteed to make sure you
live your life to the fullness. Make sure you are winning, never quitting on yourself. Live your life to the fullness. Make sure you are winning, never quitting on yourself.
Now we all have setbacks, and we all have comebacks, but how fast can you get there? But right now, we got the alignment coach and the authentic coach, and they're out here empowering women and educating men. Now we all want to be that brand new rubber band, bounce back quickly, so we're building resilience in the face of adversity. Now, showtime. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Welcome. Building resilience. Yes, sir. In the face of adversity. I like this topic. This is going to be great.
Yes, we do. Hey, everybody. I'm C, the Chiropractor Morgan, your alignment coach.
And I'm King Harrison, the authentic coach. Now, let's do what we always do. Go to the Father. Father God, we surrender this show to you. We ask that you empower this show as we submit our minds, our intellect, our voice to you so that you can get the glory out of this show. And we just give you praise, Father, that this is going to be a great show. It's going to change the trajectory of people's lives. And we are excited to see the results from this show that for your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. What's going on, Richard, Reverend Rick, and Lydia? What's going on? Glad to see y'all here. Yeah, let's get this thing popping. Building resilience in the place of adversity. That's something a lot of people don't realize that they have until it's time. So we're gonna talk about that.
True. Yeah, and thinking about things that we've talked about. What poison are you carrying? Mm-hmm. What are some of your intentions? Mm-hmm. One thing that we have when we think about resilience, there's some misconceptions sometimes. That you often come across. And one thing is like how do we debunk those based on our past experience? And some things is what people's definition of the resilience that they look at. One is that it means that you're unaffected by adversity by having a tough exterior. And in reality, actually, that resilience is about acknowledging and experiencing the difficulties that you're having, but you're having the ability to bounce back, as CJ said, the rubber band, like I liked how you used it, you bounce back and you adapt to it. It's not about being invincible, but people think that's what resilience is, having this strong armor on you, actually, but it's rather about cultivating the inner strength and flexibility that you can have in that circumstance, in that situation, in that moment, and how you're responding to that. Yeah. So we got to think about some of that too, how we look at what we say resiliency actually is.
That's true. That is very important that we look at how we view resilience, because like you said, I like what you said. We have to understand that resilience doesn't necessarily mean you don't go through the thing. It's how you come out of it, and then the fact that you overcome it. And the more adversity you receive and get, that's how your resilience built. Like CJ said, I like the way how you use that too. You bounce back like a rubber band.
The rubber band.
Because in adversity, you are being stretched, just like a rubber band. You're being stretched, but then it's so much you be stretched, and then when you let go, it come back, and that's resilient. That's a great definition for resilience. You're being stretched, but then when the resilience is the fact that you come back to your original form. And a lot of times we can be stretched too far that rubber band can pop, and so we don't want to get to that point, but we do want to get you to a point too where you see yourself as being stretched, but you still have the resilience and you're still going. Because a lot of times people just don't know how strong they are until they're in the situation. And
you're stretched.
Yeah, and you get stretched and you find out, man, I really came through that. Yes, a lot of you all don't realize how strong you really are. And if you look back over your life and you think about the trials and the adversity that you've been through, and look where you are today in your right mind, you're able to focus, you're able to accomplish things. That lets you know you have resilience. You can overcome adversity because you already done it. Now, it is a time when we'll talk about it later. There are times that you need to pull out for the burnout. Pull out
Yeah.
before the rubber band break. You need to take a break. We'll talk about that later. But the fact of it is, understand that in the face of adversity, you are strong. You are strong enough to overcome whatever you are facing, and don't underestimate yourself. Because if you look, like I said, if you really take an inventory of your life and what you've been through and where you are today, you can see that you are a very strong person. Believe it or not, you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. And you already have resilience, but you just didn't know you had resilience because we don't really pay attention to these things. Because when we in it, when we really are in adversity, man, the first thing we ain't thinking about resilience. We thinking about how to get out of it. When is
Right.
it going to be over? When is
The
it going to
solving
stop?
it.
Yeah, how are we going to solve this? We don't want resilience is the last thing you're thinking about. But you have it, and how you face it is very key. It's very important. So we're going to talk about the key points of how to face adversity. And then
Well,
also
what we're already talking about is the mindset, because we know already that plays a
Yep.
crucial role in building it.
Yep.
We already know that. So you have to adapt that positive and that growth oriented mindset anyways, because you're
Right.
going to have to grow. And like you said, being stretched in that rubber band, sometimes when we get stagnant, as in a rubber band, that rubber band loses its elasticity.
Yep.
So your mindset loses that too when you become stagnant and complacent. So you have to take, and I use it as, let's say that's your negative thoughts. You have to reframe those negative thoughts into more empowering ones. So you become more elastic like the rubber band. You become more flexible because you actually start having you view your setbacks more, quote unquote, as they're temporary, which they all should be. They're temporary and they're lessons that we're learning for, because they're going to become those opportunities for that individual, or as a group setting, or as a family, or in a relationship, or at work. They're going to empower you to grow, because it's putting you in another place, another level of your growth and in your life that maybe you didn't address. And like we said before, it will keep replaying until you address it, or till you face it. So you're going to build resilience that way, by focusing on your strengths and other people's strengths, how you learn to understand each other and communicate. But then you start seeking those solutions like you're talking about. And then you maintain even that sense of hope that we have a lot of times in those challenging times. Those challenging times is what's going to increase our elasticity and our flexibility in that time of adversity, was building the resilience that we have. Because again, it's only temporary that we have. So practicing a lot of that, becomes a strong network too.
Right.
Like we talked before. Your network that you have, you cultivate a meaningful relationship. You're participating in the community, like we say, your passion, that paying it forward, and you're giving it back a lot of times. You contribute to that resilient mindset that you have by navigating more effectively that resilience and the adversity, that you have. So the more you put yourselves in meaningful relationships, meaningful tasks, meaningful community activities, the more you're going to encounter to actually develop more resilience that's going to broaden that adversity that you actually encounter.
Right. And another thing, right, it's gonna be more effective. And then also, I like what you're saying about the it's just short term. A lot of things, and we say this, we still do. We say this a lot on the podcast. We say, make sure you do not make long term decisions in short term situations. So exactly, and the thing about it is, make sure even in these, when you are going through adversity, try not to make long term decisions. Because the thing about it is, believe it or not, let's just keep it 100. A lot of vultures show up whenever you're going through and they see you at the lowest place. Like, especially if you have a loss of a family, loss of a business, loss of something, all of a sudden vultures come out of nowhere. And they take advantage of you because they see your skill set, they see your talents, and they see who you are. And you have to be weary of those jokers. And it's a shame that you have to be, because now then you gotta check people's genuality for real. You gotta see who's genuine, who's not. Because if people are coming to you and they want something from you because they know you can do this and do that, man, run for them. And I'm telling you, they show up when you at your lowest point, like when
Yes.
you are really like desperate, and not. And the thing about it, it looks so genuine because you are desperate. When you're in a desperate state, it's gonna look very genuine that there's somebody who's like literally saying, "Oh, I can help you. I can look out for you. I got you.
And help
I
you,
got
all right. Help you
yeah,
over that
yeah,
cliff.
yeah. They're gonna help you put your. It's an advantage point, and we just got to be weary of that. It's so critical. I don't know. Ooh, it's so strong. It's so critical that we paying attention to that, because it. Ooh, this is stronger than I thought it was gonna be. All right, listen. So okay, we shifting a little bit. Just y'all, if y'all are regulars at the show, y'all know how I go with our show. Hold on. Okay. All right, let me say it like this. All right. I am weary of people who show up at the last minute of when you in your lowest place, and all of a sudden they show up, but they never showed up when you was up. They never showed up when you was being successful. But they always been around though. They always could have offered you help when you was up. They could have offered you help, but they didn't do nothing. But as soon as you hit your lowest point, all of a sudden they want to be a hero. I'm weary of those people, because those people are trying to take advantage of you and they trying to use you.
Self-seeking.
They self-seeking, and they trying to build their own agenda. They selfish. I forgot I was saved just for a minute. They selfish. I'm about to say something else. See, I ain't gonna lie. It was just anger. I just got angry just then. They are selfish, really. They are selfish. Because I don't like seeing people get bullied or played or try to take advantage of. That's something that's a pet peeve of mine. But you just got to be weary of those people, man. For real. You got to be weary of those people.
We're talking about surrounding your people in your network.
Yeah.
You built that. It's a strong support network, not a tear me down or help me stay in my state that I'm down right now, or my low right now. You're surrounding yourself with caring and understanding individuals that can offer some guidance, some encouragement that significantly will bolster your resilience, is what, like you're saying. And additionally, it comes with helping you in your time practicing that self-care. You start setting some realistic goals. You adopt that growth mindset. You change it. It helps you change, because these are the key strategies that enhance that resilience in the face of adversity. But this is also, what are these characteristics of the people that you're surrounding yourselves with?
Right.
And a lot of those too. And we're saying that that self-seeking, they want to be, like you said, the heroes of the day, the hero of that situation which you're going through. But like you said, if they're not around when you're, like you said, up, when you're doing well, encouraging, empowering you, you do need to look at that differently.
You do.
Like you use vultures. What do vultures do? They're eating off a dead.
Let me go chaotic for real quick. We'll go back to analytical. So check it out. I'm weary of jokers that just come around and they really trying to promote they gift off your gift. They trying to promote their gift off of who you are. And really, they don't give a rat's baby tail about you. They really try to succeed themselves. They selfish. I'm telling you, we got to go back. See, you said it again. When you said it, it just highlighted even more in my head. Really, pay attention to the people who come around you that are when you are desperate and you're low. But when you was up, they saw you, but they didn't give you no encouraging word. If anything, they gave you some criticism. If anything, they said some stuff that like, oh, do you really think you should be doing that? Do you really think that's what you're supposed to be doing? Are you sure you purpose to do that? But then when you go low, all of a sudden, like, oh man, I didn't even see that coming. But these the same people that was telling you, making you question what you knew to do, question your destiny, you gotta be weary of these people. I'm serious. I mean, this goes together. Listen, this is why we stress know who you are. Because if you know who you are, then you know who you're not supposed to be around. If you know who you are, then you know who's not supposed to be in your circle. Because that comes with that. Even when you hit your low point, you gonna know that this joker ain't for me. Oh, okay, this joker looking for something. This joker trying to use something. This joker gaslighting me.
Yeah.
You gotta be weary of people who all of a sudden show up when you low, but nowhere to be found when you high, and nowhere to try to promote you when you high. Listen, don't come around me when I hit rock bottom. Come around me right now when I need somebody to show us how to market this business, when I need somebody to show us how to pour into us, when I need somebody to give me some encouragement about, okay, this is where you should go because we know you're in psychology. Show up now. But when you show up when I done hit rock bottom trying to be God for me, then I have a problem with that. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. So you can go back. Let's go back to analytical. Because I'm about to snap.
Well, you're
go back
giving,
analytical.
you're
Go back
giving
analytical.
warning signs.
Huh?
You're giving warning. You're giving warning signs.
Yeah, talk to them.
Someone who may be struggling with their resilience, is persistent feelings of hopelessness. They withdraw from the social. They have difficulty adapting to changes. They have a lack of motivation. So when they breathe this on you, these are some warning signs that they're having struggles with their own resilience in their adversity. When you start recognizing some of these signs, it's very important that you're saying, so you're not taking advantage of, but actually, so you can actually come and bounce back, because you should prioritize your own self-care.
Yes,
You should seek support from trusted people, the ones that they are encouraging you. And it could be from individuals or even professionals, but consider sometimes if you need it, that person that's in your life that's actually being a negative Nancy or a negative Ned in your life, maybe you need to recommend some type of therapy or counseling for them, to support them, to develop some effective resilience building strategies. These are the people that you're speaking of, they're tearing you down instead of building you up. Yes, we need people there when we are down, but that's part of our growth too. Understand that that's not negative. If we are down there, that means we completed the level that we're at right now. So we're going to be in that adversity to build a new level of resilience, because we have to build that next level again to actually go to the next level. So when you have the people there's people in the communities that we're saying that have demonstrated some exceptional resilience that you can see, that can mentor you, or you can mimic. Maybe, I've been through that before. For instance, there's a setback, in your career. Even for me, I'll use, for me, a setback is when I became homeless because the department downsized. I had no control over that. But what I had to do, I was devastated because I had the two girls to take care of, and lost the home, lost work, not be from my control. But I had to tap in and focus on my strengths and what I could do. I had to seek support from my network around me, from loved ones, from professionals, and you have to reframe the situation as an opportunity for that growth that you have. And you have to be persistent, because I had to, even though I was feeling that way, I was low in that, but I had to learn from my experience. That experience, as we often say, it's a blessing for others for us to walk through, because we were challenged for that weight on our shoulders to build that strength for us that we can help build for others. So you adapt by your approach, because you're able to overcome that challenge. And you eventually lead to that, you find and you lead that greater success that you have within you, that you can share with others to actually push them to that next level too. So those are the things that you have to really take into account when you're having your own personal setbacks that we're saying that you have, your own accountability that you have. Your adversity is a blessing. Be glad to have some type of adversity in your life, because it's going to help build and make you better. You're going to actually get another support system around you. These are your vessels that maybe you have prayed for. These are things that you asked for. These are your gifts and ugly packages that is coming to you to help give you what you've been asking for. Some of it we may not ask for, but you asked for it in some degree, or you didn't learn a lesson from previously that you actually need to, okay, here's a lesson now. Let me see if you're going to adopt it. Are you going to use it and take it as a positive oriented growth mindset? Or are you still going to be stagnant in this negative fixed mindset? Which one are you going to be? We have those choices. So our choices are going to be our consequences, or they're going to be our success. It's where we choose to be, and having that, as you're saying, when we're reframing, when we're empowering ourselves too. So think about some personal experience that you guys have had already, how you became out of that resilience. Even when you had people looking at you, what you're doing, that you didn't realize how strong you were and how resilient that you bounced back, finding solutions. And then that self-reflection that you have, that you're looking at, yeah, you know what? I did do this. I didn't realize it now, but I didn't realize it then, but now I realize it now. So you have to go back and look at some of those things, the people surround you, what is actually occurring in some of those personal events that you've had. What was that significant impact it had on you? Look at some of those intricate details that we miss sometimes when we are sulking, when we are down. Because they're not, even when we're successful, we don't even take a moment to give ourselves that grace or say, we're happy we accomplished it for that moment, but what are we actually having that gratitude and grace for? What adversity did we come through? Are we writing it down and tracking it? Are we looking at, hey, this is our story that we can share and we can have experience and impact somebody else? A lot of times we get shameful of some of the things that we have been through or embarrassed, and we want to keep them to ourselves. But we really need to express them, because believe me, we're not the only one. We are not the only one that went through that. We have experienced it differently, but the topic in that adversity is the same.
Exactly. Like, I want to go back. Let's go back. I like you brought up something. You said homeless, because we both had X-Men. I'm gonna show you the reason why I think the reason why I'm so passionate about it, because it happened to me and it happened to see. When we were at our lowest, people took advantage of our gifts. Like, when I was at my lowest and I was in the homeless state, people took advantage of the fact that I can draw people. That if I speak to someone, they're gonna be motivated. If I speak and I say something, the people just gonna feel like they can run through a brick wall. See, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what God had put inside of me. I really didn't at the time. But when I became homeless, that's when God was developing me then. So he was teaching me the power that he has put inside of me. He was teaching me that I taught you to be transparent for a reason. Like C said, so you could help people out. He was teaching me then, but people saw that quicker than I saw it. And so they took advantage of it. So they'll bring me onto their platforms and have me speak so that the people can be motivated so that they can help them. Then they'll tell me, we're going to help you too, but they didn't help me. I'm still broke, but they got rich off my gift. So reason why we are so passionate about it is because we went through a trial and error of this. And so for me, it takes a toll on me when I see and I feel or I sense that someone is getting taken advantage of because they was at a low point at one point, and then all of a sudden you swoop in and want to be like superhero to them or God to them and say, oh, I created them. Oh, I made them. Oh, this is because of my mentoring. This is because I poured into them. No, it ain't got nothing to do with you. What I came here with was from birth, before the foundations of earth. Every gift I have was already in me before I hit my mother's womb. It was already destined. So ain't nobody created or made me who I am. I'm God made. Will forever be God made. Somebody can say they help, kind of guide me. I take that, but you didn't make me. God made me, and God will forever be making me. He will bring people in my life that will compliment or encourage the gift, but never in the world would a Negro take credit for what God has done for me. That would never happen. So what I'm trying to tell you is, be careful of these people, because they are around. And the thing about it, now that you all are coming into, because it took me right back, because we're teaching people how to come into themselves and know who they are and know themselves. When we was learning who we were, people were taking advantage of us because we didn't know. We was on a platform together, me and C, where people were taking advantage of what we knew and benefiting off of it somebody else. They making all the money. We're not. But they promised us we're going to make money. We didn't make nothing. We just was there. Then they were taking our ideas and running with it like it's theirs. So I'm telling you all, we know this from experience. So it's why it's imperative that your life story, your authentic self, we used to say this all the time. So you remember how we used to tell people the only difference between these famous people and you is they got a great marketing team. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Your story is just as popular as anybody's story you hearing right now.
And powerful, if not more.
And powerful. Right. And powerful. And true. The only difference is they got a great marketing team. That's it. We seen the best of marketing teams. And we know for a fact, if we had that person and they was doing our show, everybody would know who we are because of how gifted they are. They are the truth. I'm just being honest. They know their stuff. If we had that one person, them people, I ain't gonna say one, them people, we would be just as fast. But I love the fact that we do this
organic. There's another level to that too. The marketing team, yes, too, but it comes with us too starting to believe and have that confidence to actually spell that out. We have to be confident and not worry about the judgment of others.
Man,
We
forget
can,
other people.
that has to be actually extinguished also. You have, because if you're going to be out there and people are going to know who you are, you, and like I said, that great marketing team, people around you, you market yourself when you tell your story anyways, but it's
Please
how
do.
open
Yes.
you are. And I
Yes.
work on that myself, and I'm a very private person, but
Yes, she is.
talking with people a lot of times too, yes, I am.
Yes, she is. Very private.
I am. I try to be open a little bit, to tell you, because you have to. We've said it a lot of time too. Is learning from a textbook is not the best way to teach people, especially when you teach about, like we're talking about, what people go through for being homeless. It's hard to really give anybody any credibility if you have not been homeless, by you're only trying to teach us what the book says. It takes life experience
Exactly.
to that too. So in that life experience, you develop tools and practices that's not even in that book, because that's life's journey. Life is throwing curveballs at you that's not in that book. That's just one thing they're giving you. So the tools of the mindfulness and the self-reflection, it aids in building that resilience that you have in any situation that's brought to you. And when you
Yeah.
build that, it doesn't matter what is brought to your feet, you're going to actually be able to stomp it out, because
Yeah.
you're going to have that confidence in yourself, and then incorporating that too. So
Yeah.
the tools that you have, they greatly contribute to that resilience, and you can use it as your stepping stone. That's what I mean when it's brought to your feet. Use all of that adversity as your stepping stones. That mindfulness, within yourself, it helps individuals move forward. It cultivates, the biggest thing, it cultivates that present moment awareness that you have. We don't always stay in the present. We're always in the past. A lot of times more, we're in the future. We have to stay more in that present
Present.
and
Yeah.
regulate our emotions that we have. And the thing, like I said too, some of that, we have to have non-judgmental mindset. If we want others to have it on us, we have to exude that ourselves. We cannot judge people a lot of times. And a lot of times we get caught up in it too. It just, sometimes it comes naturally. That's what is actually being programmed to judge this and judge that. But honestly, we have to have that. What we want people to do for us, we have to do for ourselves. So that's where that self-reflection comes in, because it encourages you and other individuals to learn from your experiences. You learn from their experiences. You identify their strengths along with your strengths, and the areas for growth. A lot of times when we sit back and we say, man, I'm glad I'm not like that. But actually, are you truly not like that? A lot of times when we look at people, we identify we don't like within ourselves, or behaviors that we want to change within ourselves.
Correct.
So it makes it necessary for the judgments to adjust our approaches and their challenges and our own challenges. A lot of times, and that's just, comes with psychology and the human behavior that we see, is we identify what we don't like about ourselves so quickly in others. I don't like this about this person. I don't like that about that person. But do you actually do that behavior? Do you actually do that task? And you might not even know you do it. A lot of times it's unintentional, but some things you do. But just re-examine and self-reflect. And then you're going to build even more level, like we said, of that resilience that you have. Because adversity, it starts at your core. Your adversity is the core of you. What you allow, the choices you make, the consequences that you make from those choices that you made, the step forwards that you're taking, the different perspectives that you may have, and different conversations. You have to be open-minded too. You have to have an open mind in order to grow too.
You got to.
Some of that, you have to navigate adversity more effectively, what you have to do to get to where you want to be. If you're having difficulty doing that, I suggest some of those tools and things I've said, use some of those. Make it practical. The tool for me is not going to be the same tool King needs. The tool for something King needs, I'm not going to always have that tool for him either. You have to develop your own tools and put in your own tool belt that's going to work for you. That's what comes us not comparing each other too.
Right.
What works for one is not going to work for the other. Someone's success is not going to be the same path you're going to take. You may have some baseline things that we have, or a skeleton, a process, but it's how you adapt and you put that process into place, and how you respond to some of the adversity that's coming to your doorstep.
Yeah.
You're going to open the door and let it in, or you're going to keep it shut.
That's good. I'm gonna catch your alley oop this time. I missed it last time. I got it. Listen, but let's go back to what you said. When you think about people, how you get mad at something. I heard a wise man say this. He said, "The seed that lies within you is the seed that you embrace." So a lot of times, a lot of times, y'all are around people that you be like, you don't like that, but that's something inside of you that keep drawing you to that.
You grow, you kill it. That seed.
Yeah, so you really gotta do, and what she's saying is a critical thinking. You gotta have critical thinking when it comes to all aspects of life. Critical thinking. Listen, the thing about it is, I got it this time. You know, even in the, even in the, even with the Ben Holmes, and you know, I've decided, yo, I want to go. We want to do life. We want to do this. But I went all in with this. Like right now, I'm in school for psychology. I'm getting a master's in psychology. It's because I'm all in what I said I wanted to do. We want to empower women, educate men. I'm all in with that. And a lot of times it takes, like she was saying, though you can't read a book and get it, but for society, they need you to know that you read the book. And then they'll respect the fact they'll respect your experience, your life experience.
You need a piece of paper.
Yeah, they need a piece of paper. And so for me, what I understood as someone who's called to do this, I understood, okay, let's go do what we need to do to make sure we reach the people. See, it takes another level of thinking to understand that if you say you called and you say you're supposed to do something, you need to do the things that make you relevant in that calling. Like a lot of times people don't understand that, okay, yeah, I'm gifted. Trust me, I'm way gifted. I'm great. But however, in order for me to function in society and to reach the people that God needs me to reach, I need to go get a piece of paper so they can give me access. When I get in there, I didn't change. I just got a piece of paper. But the knowledge that God has given me for them, it's going to be the same knowledge. It's because of the fact that I have a piece of paper, now I have access. And because I'm serious about this. That's why it pays to you to know who you are. So when people say to you like, you shouldn't go to school for that. You already got this, blah, 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 blah. Miss me with that. I know what my destiny is. I know what it needs to do to get there. So I am going to go to school. I am going to work in my basement for hours and hours at a time just to graduate earlier than they said, because I understand that time is not on my side. I need to be at a certain spot so that I can pursue what I need to pursue for God. And so I need to knock out some things because he's graced me to do it. That's what it looks like when you know who you are in adversity. Do you think, is it easy? No, I have a whole 8-month-old son that does not believe in giving you time or saying, hey, okay, I understand, Dad, you got to go to school and get this. He don't want to hear that. He want his time right now when he want it. He want all the attention in the house.
He sure does. He commands it too.
He commands the attention. Yes. And then I have a daughter. When she's here, the same way. And she can talk. So she can pretty much voice, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why? Her favorite word is why. And I can't stand why. I went back to the old folks and said, because I said so. You know, that doesn't work though. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. It did, because she asked me why you say so. So
exactly. I mean, my question too.
Right, it doesn't work. But the fact of it is, know who you are, and that in adversity you keep going. Because we always used to say this. You know, I used to hate when they used to say that though. See, they say you got to have a why.
You do.
Me personally, and when they
used
to say that,
me a why and a how.
When they used to tell us that, we like, man, shut up. But now I understand it. You definitely got to have a why and a how, because if you don't have neither one of them two, you will quit. You will stop. I think you need a why, how, and who. The who is know who you are, because once you know who you are, it'll take care of the why and the how. Because when you know who you are, you know how to do the why and the how, because you know who you are.
And I would say the growing you. Yes. Remember that, because you're not always going to be the continuous same version of yourself. You're going to be constantly evolving. So long as you realize you are the evolving who, which you're speaking of, King, that is important, because you're not going to be the same person. Granted, we're not the same person that we were yesterday. What did we learn from yesterday that we are implementing today?
Oh, shoot.
So just remember that you're going to be that constant change.
Time out. See, we didn't do what we usually do. All right, we got some new people that we didn't even know. All right, Raj, glad to see you here. We told Lydia hello. Tara, how you doing? We told, okay. My wife here. Van, what's up, Van? Here, listen, because we are a personable podcast. We do talk to the crowd, and we say, y'all been talking to us. I'm sorry, I went chaotic. So y'all was talking when I went chaotic. But no, okay, they say yes. They say yes, woman of God, search for the identity, the silver thing. Okay, good out. Okay, I spoke to you. So true. They would try to pimp your gift. Yep. She was getting me started with that. They would try to pimp your gift. That's a great. Thank you. That's the word I needed. Pimp your gift. Great facts. work the room. Raj, you crazy. But no. We do like to acknowledge the people because, again, we do this because we know God called us to do it, and we would do it with 5 people, 1 person show up, and we would go just as hard as we going right now. But I do like to acknowledge the fact that people do show up and they do comment because we appreciate that. Because we actually do read the comments. I'm sorry. I went off on a chaotic rant though. Usually we were in the read the comments, but I'm saying that just hit me so hard because I'm getting sick and tired of people taking advantage of great people. Not good people, great people. And because they're trying to move their agenda. And they can care less about the person that they're taking advantage of. That's going to stop. And yeah. Okay, go ahead, see.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, there's stories.
Brad, stories of people. Oh, my goodness. Now, I know we famous now, see. Check this out. If this millionaire showed up, this is Brad. He's a millionaire, actually. Now, if he showed up at our podcast, look, Brad, you came to see little old me. Thank you so much, Brad. You a boy. I can't wait. The millionaire done showed up. I'm happy now. We're doing really good, see.
Look. Well, I was going to say, with the stories of the people that you were speaking of and the ones that are taking advantage of their stories, they're actual people just like you and I. We all, like you said, we have our own stories that we have, but they've overcome their personal tragedies, natural disasters, but they use their experiences currently and previously to create a positive change. Correct. That's the most important thing. What are you creating in a positive way that enhances somebody's life or changing the community? What are you doing to enhance that? Yeah. Because their resilience and them doing that becomes a testament to the human spirit that we're speaking of. Correct. And it serves as that inspiration for others facing their own challenges. Because you are looked at. If she can do that, what she was going through, I can do this and what I'm going through. It makes us reflect, like I said, in that self-reflection of maybe mine is not so bad compared to what they're going through. But it's how we look at things we were talking about before, the perception of our own reality. That's our reality. Right. We've been making it bigger than it is in actuality, but we have to succumb to that. We have to say that realization of this is just my reality, not the real world reality at that time. Yeah, this reality is in my bubble right now until I sit there and I want to face this challenge. Because a lot of times we will withdraw because we don't want to face the challenge right now. It can be too much. We don't know the tools. We don't have the tools. We don't feel comfortable talking to the person. And the biggest thing, we don't be honest about what is going on. Fear of judgment. We have shame. We have some guilt. So we have to face that adversity head on before we can build that resilience, before we can sit and make judgment calls. We judge other people, but we have to stand and look at that person looking at us back in that mirror. Correct. That is the most important part, because that resilience is going to continue to be increasingly important, especially in the future of your lives, individuals that you touch in society, because you're going to help navigate their complexities and some of their uncertain times. Right. Like you said, time is not on our side, especially uncertain times. We don't know the unknown. A lot of times we have to embrace that. Though the ongoing changes and challenges and the very aspects of life require individuals to be adaptable in what's going on, to be persistent in what we're saying, what we're doing. The words that are coming out of our mouths have to match our actions. Yes. We have to be able to bounce back from them setbacks. So developing that resilience, and to me, in the mind and in your mouth and the physical action that you're doing, it's going to help you thrive in this rapidly, oh my gosh, ever-changing world that we have, and maintain that well-being and sense of purpose that we all have here on this earth to even do. We have a purpose we have to fulfill. You have to use those gifts that we speak about daily, that you have to use those to fulfill your purpose, even when you feel you don't know who you are. And to me, I want to talk to that too. A lot of times we say know who you are. When you're feeling you do not know who you are, look at it as maybe you're just in a transition phase right now. You're molding like a snake. You're molding that skin. You're molding that version of you that you maybe don't like about you. You're outgrowing a version of you and you're realizing it now before you didn't realize it. This can come from outside influences, positive influences, I'm going to say. Positive influences may be something they said that you don't like, but it may be the truth.
Let's use butterfly instead of snake. Let's use butterfly instead of snake, because, we don't want to use snake.
Metamorphosis. I use a metamorphosis then.
Yeah, let's use butterfly.
Better, more. They all have their purpose in life, just like we have ours, no matter what they look like. Pretty or ugly.
Head off. So that when you say
right?
that, I like, well, we
But
don't want no
they
snakes in the room.
have their place in this world, though. They have their places.
Yeah,
So
for me to cut their head off. Yeah, okay. Go. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not interrupting no more.
they
Butterfly.
have their place. They have their place that actually helps the world change because we need both sides of it. There's a
We do.
balance
We
to it,
do.
as they
We
say, the
do.
hero and the villain.
You
We
right.
play both sides. We're
Yeah,
not perfect in that part,
you
but
right. You
are
right.
you? When we're looking at ourselves, are we going to be that villain or we're going to be the hero?
Yeah, you right. You
Within
right. You
boundaries.
absolutely right.
Within boundaries, which one are we going to do? We have to be practical about it. And our different perspectives on how we see things, like me and you can see the same thing, but see things totally different. Totally
Yes.
that's we like the same picture, and that's totally different. We can see, which we do a lot, anyways.
We do.
we,
Yes, we
we
do. We do.
we agree to disagree at a lot of different times. But
Yes.
and it's that kind of banter too. We can talk about when it comes to conflict. You think someone may be argumentative, maybe they're just challenging your mind to see it differently. They're challenge your mind to see a different view. It's how you look at it, how you respond to it. Oh, you don't take it as, oh, they're trying to pick on me, or they're trying to beat me down, or they're undermining me. No, maybe they're just challenging me right now. They
Yeah.
see a part of me that I can grow in that I'm not realizing if they're trying to push me because I'm not hearing the words that they're telling me.
Correct.
Maybe they have to push me to show me in a
Yeah.
sense that not so much breaking me, but they're breaking you out of the shell you might have put yourself in that you didn't even know you did.
That's good. That's good.
So that's something I think about that aspect when something is going wrong, or when you're trying to figure out who you are. Just remember you're evolving. You're going to have times where you're going to feel in limbo because you're evolving, as we said, like with the butterfly, the metamorphosis. They actually had to completely change. I mean, they go through, and I want you guys to look that up. The cycle of it. It actually it is relevant to the humans as we go through. I mean, they basically they come sluggish. They're how do you say in the sense of when they're I'm trying to say when they're in the pupa. Yes, thank you. And that part of it, they're transforming there. You don't this is like you're not recognizing who you are. You may feel this. You don't recognize who you are, but you're transforming into another level of where you're going, what you want to do, and realization of that. You may be releasing some weight. You may be healing right now. You can heal in adversity. People don't look at it that way too. You heal in that because it's pushing you out of that shell, out of this form that you are been in too long. You have kept yourself in this cell, in this version of you too long, and now your mind is telling you, let's move on. Your body now is saying, let's move on. You're doing things that you normally don't do, let's say in your behaviors. This is telling you you need to move on, or you need to address something right now within yourself, an own challenge that you have to move on and persevere to build that new level of resilience that you actually need to actually come into that butterfly, like it's showing here. You need to. And it's gonna grow again. You need to cultivate the world around you, cultivate yourself, and just be that blessing, to others. Overcome personal tragedies that we're gonna have every day. There'll be one waiting around the corner for us, and it's lurking, saying, "Okay, let's try Crystal on this tragedy. How's she gonna respond to it?" It sounds bad, but it's true.
It's true.
It's a barrier. It's gonna be a challenge. And is it a true tragedy, or am I just viewing it that way? Is it as bad as I'm viewing it? Those are some things we have to look at when we do that self-reflection.
And again, we got some new people here. Listen, we are giving away something that costs you $200 from us, and it's an assessment, a DISC assessment. We're giving it away because we want you. That's how serious we are about you knowing who you are. We use the DISC assessment for our sessions, for our consulting sessions, and our business. But we want you to know who you are, so we're giving this away. And all we ask you to do, give us an email. And when you give us an email, we will send it to you. We'll send you the DISC assessment. All we telling you is you have to do it in a quiet place. Just shut off from everybody else. Take your time and do it. Should take you about 10 or 15 minutes. And you do it, and then what it would give you out is a printout of you. If you do it the right way. Now, also we're giving away, reach out to us and we'll go over it with you, which is another thing we're giving away. And we'll just go over it because we want you to know who you are. Now, if you want to go further, we're not giving that away. But that's going to cost. Comes with a cost. But what we are giving away is valued at $500, though, to be honest with you. because of all the complexities of it. Now, but we are so serious about you knowing who you are. You know what I mean? Basically, and then my price is a little higher, but I was giving the base price. So basically,
No, I mean baseline of who they are. It gives them
yeah.
an insight of looking at.
I thought you were talking about the price was base. Yeah, it is. But okay, yeah. So it's gonna give you a basic outlook of who you are. So really, we're so serious, man. All you have to do is send us your email. And when you send us your email, we know you're saying, hey, King C. Morgan, please send us that DISC assessment so I can gotta get a grasp of who I am. Because it's gonna break you down. I'm serious. When I used to tell us to give y'all a pitch, it's almost accurate. But no, we're gonna send. Here go Johnny come lately. Always. This time is when he show up.
Shelton, I did send one to you. Haven't received it back yet.
Shelton, we sent you the DISC assessment. You need to take it, sir. Take time out your business schedule. I know you're a pastor and you got a mega church and all, but take time out your schedule to take this assessment. It's gonna help your members if you know who you are. It's gonna help you also too. Now, everybody else, send me the email. Send us the email. Put the email. You can send us a private message. If you're on Facebook, you see us on Facebook, send us a private message. YouTube, if you know my number, send me your email, and I send it to C, and she'll get it out to you. And because we're serious about you knowing who you are.
You're so welcome, Shelton.
we're serious about you knowing who you are, because that's the key. That's the foundation of everything about you. Because once you know who you are, you won't accept who you're not. So can I share with you all? Some of you all gonna find out that the job you working is really a job you should not be working. Some of you gonna find out that a lot of stuff you've been taking and wondering why you were doing the things you've been doing and wonder why people weren't doing it. It's because you were the wrong crowd.
The position.
You're in the
wrong position in the company.
And some of y'all gonna wonder why. Well, when people talk to me like that, I don't know why I snap. We're gonna show you why. It's all of that's in there. How to communicate with you, where you should be working, how you talk, how you respond. All of it is in there. What's up, Kendra? Kendra, what's up, Kendra? I ain't seen Kendra in a minute. Kendra, we hope you're doing fine. That's another one of our coaches, actually. So when she say facts, that's because she know what we're talking about. So please, I don't know why we on this. It seems like we on a Jerry Springer, whatever that dude name's.
We're not on Jerry Springer now.
Nah, we're not Jerry Springer. We on the one that, you know that telethon. We be begging the people, please, but that's how serious we are. Please, 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 please send us your email, and we're gonna send you this DISC assessment that we want you to take, because we want you to know who you are. It's imperative that you know who you are for real, because if you don't know who you are, man, they're gonna take advantage of you. They are. People are gonna take advantage of you. Especially if you're gifted and talented, they're going to take advantage of you. Yeah, I can't, yeah. So, and that's my spiel on that. I don't want to go off again. But yeah, they're going to take advantage of you. Just know, we want you to know who you are.
Please do.
Kendra, we're glad you're here. It's good to see you. Go ahead, see. Kendra, we all got to meet now, Kendra. We got to meet.
Yes, it is going to open
your eyes. You're right. Yes, Trey, you're right. He's going to open your eyes. Because I took it, I'm like, oh, man, for real? I always do that. But we don't want you to focus on, we're going to give it to you a different way. We're going to give it to you where we want you to focus on the strengths and not what you do lack of. Because the purpose of it to show you is you need somebody. You can't do this by yourself. Like, we got a team. And you see some of them. If you've been around long enough, you probably have seen all of them, because all of them done showed up at one point in time. But we have a team, and all of us function in our gifts together, and we bring all our gifts together, and we're able to have a strong foundation in our business. And so that's why we took it, so we know which one played what role. C is analytical. C makes sure everything's straight. If the letter if these letters are not correct or symmetric, she will say something. That's her. That's why she's analytical. I'm the chaotic one. I'm the D. I'm the one that's get it, go, and I'll go through a brick wall so she can come in and fix it. That's how I work.
Or say, wait, there's a better way to do this.
I done tore the wall down already. But then we got people on our team that are more people oriented, that just love talking to people. They love talking to people. That's not me. That's not C. But so I
We
know
like
we got.
talking to people. It's just a different level how they're great at.
Yeah,
That's natural
they
things
are.
that come with them.
Woohoo! They way up there. And,
They're influencers and
they
motivators
they're like
naturally.
my wife. Actually, my wife is a people person. She's very bubbly and all that stuff. That's my wife. That's not me. And so then we got these people that just support us, like Kendra and other people that y'all don't see. Do y'all do team training? Yes, we do. Yes, Shelton, we do. We do. Now you got to get your offering together for your church though, cause we do teams. We do that, but we gonna need an offering. So I'm speaking in your terms that you understand. We will do it, but we gonna need an offering. We will do it. We will set up everything. Thomas, you got it. You got it. Do you a mega church? You got it.
Well, I want to say, what helps with that and bringing everything together, and what he's saying, how you learn this type, the behavior style that you are. It helps to understand. It's a tool, like I said, you have to build your tool belt. If it's not something that is your strength per se, or that comes very easy for you, but you have a team member or you have someone in your network, in your circle that can do it, compared to 3 hours it takes you to 30 minutes, you're going to pass that and delegate that to that person. It just helps you understand what you need to do better, in a sense, to actually be more productive and just strive and thrive in what you do naturally and what you have passion for.
Correct.
So, and that helps you understand that more. And it goes along with seeking your meaning and your purpose. Same thing goes with the resilience and adversity that we're speaking about today. You reflect on your values, your passions that you have. What actually gives your life meaning? Mm-hmm. This gives you a bird's eye view of it. It helps you understand more. You connect with your purpose, and you use it as a guiding light during challenging times. Correct. This gives you some ideas. It helps break some things down. And when you understand having that sense of meaning, it can help you stay motivated and find strength during the adversity. Another thing that we speak about too is learning from your past experiences. We learn, that's where our lessons come from. We can't get stuck behind the starting line and not even start. Correct. That's what that keeps us. That means we're studying the past, because our brain teaches us, oh no, don't do that. It sends warning signals off. We did this already, tried it, don't do it again. But we have to do it again. It's a past experience, but reflect on how that challenge you overcome, and you recognize your ability to bounce back. Focus on that, not the negative aspect. Reframe that mindset. How did you use your abilities to bounce back? Identify those strategies and tools that you use, the strengths that helped you in those situations that you had. Apply them to your current challenges. Some of those same tools may fit that challenge. Do that. Use your previous experiences as a source of confidence and resilience, not something that's going to deter you and have fear from that. Some things, just remember, building resilience, it takes the time and it takes practice, because you're going to have different barriers. You're going to have different adversities to face. Just remember that. It's going to take practice to each one. You're not going to always have the same one, especially if you accomplish that and you achieve that one and you did well. Your next test is coming. So if you incorporate some of these tips in your life, it's going to benefit you. It's going to help you develop that inner strength that you have, that resilience that's necessary to you to navigate that adversity and thrive in a lot of the faces of challenges that you bring on yourself, or you allow others to bring on you, or some that are just not in your control.
Right. Let me do this. Let me show you all something. I think I can show you all. If I'm just bear with me. I'm doing this on the fly.
So, Shelton says stay in your lane.
Yeah, Shelton always got something to say. All right, can you see that?
Yes.
See that? All right, yes. This is basically what the dish is going to show you.
One aspect of it.
From one aspect. A
brief aspect, yes.
Very brief. So you see the letter D, decisive, the letter I, interactive, and then S is, I can't see it, stabilizing, steady. And then C is cautious. So if you look at the examples, and then it say how you tend to approach problems and make decisions. And then it say if you're a high D, you're demanding, or you low D, you're deliberate. Then if you say people, how you tend to interact with others and share opinions. If you're a high I, you know that word, persuasive, introspective. And then, it goes so on. So basically, you fall in between. It's going to break this down for you individually. It's going to break it down. So, like, it's going to show you
And that's
stuff.
situational. That's situational too.
Right.
There's
So
two aspects to that.
So look, it'll show you this. It'll break it down. This is breaking down the D aspect of it. This is breaking down the I aspect of it. See, this is how it's doing. It breaks it down. It breaks all of it down for you so you can see it in the level that you are, where you at, how you fall. It breaks it. It really breaks it down. It's a great tool, and it's great for team building. It is great, like Shelton asked. Great for team.
They said, "Don't show too much. Let us come to class," which is true.
I'm not. This ain't even nothing. We not giving you. Trust me. I'm very strategic of what I just showed you. But so yeah, basically that's what it shows. That's what you would.
You have to know how to apply that. You have the information, but you need to learn how to apply that and implement it. And what is it actually saying? How it pertains to you? It's like you said, you can have the same piece of white paper with scribbles on it, but it applies to each and every one of us differently.
It does. And that's what we are offering for free for you all to get, so that we want to help you on this journey, knowing who you are. Now, if you want to go further, then hey, it's an offering. It is what it is. We gotta live. We got families to feed. So, it just is what it is. So, but we genuinely want to get you started. And now, if you don't want to go further, we good with that too. But as long as you know who you are, we good. We accomplished what we set out to accomplish.
The current version of who you are.
The current version of who you are. Because like she said, I like that point, that you are forever growing, because who I am today is not who I was even a month ago, actually. So, because we forever growing and we forever developing. And so we offer that for you. All you got to do is send us your email, and we'll send it to you. And you take it, and and then we'll also go over it with you. Heck, if you don't mind, we'll go over it live. If you want to come on the show, we'll walk it through with you live on the show, just so people can see how we break this thing down. And now, we're going to be honest. You just got to be prepared for that too, though, because we going to tell you when we see it.
Open mind.
Keep open mind, because we're going to give it to you. We're going to see you going to do it analytically. I'm going to do it a little aggressively. So I'm just going
right,
to be real.
Kendra, right.
Kendra, yeah. So yeah, just be prepared. But it's all in us, knowing who you are, man. We cannot stress that enough. How can you survive adversity if you don't know who you are? How can you survive life, period, if you don't know who you are? How can you be the greatest version of you if you don't know who you are? That is imperative. You have to know who you are. You definitely have to know who you are. And that's my spiel on this whole thing. Because we're going to wrap this up and see.
Yeah,
go ahead.
That's it. Closing right there.
Oh, we're going to close right there.
I'm saying that's good. I mean, the thing that we say, just remember, take every adversity in a positive measure, because it's going to actually make you stronger and help build your resilience.
Correct, Shelton. You're correct. It is. It is. Like I said, I'll be honest with you, this tool is great for ministries, period, point blank. I'll be honest with you, especially when you're dealing with so many different backgrounds and people. It really is. It is. And like I said, we do that. Like I said, we do that for ministries too. But you know what I'm saying? We just need an offering. We don't sow everything. We sowing this one, but we just need an offering. Cause y'all, I mean, really, what it takes for us to know this stuff and to retain it, it takes a lot for us, really. And then for us to sit and then evaluate it, it takes a lot.
And it's ongoing too.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing knowledge, ongoing learning, more things for it. We keep up to date, just like doctors keep up to date with the medical changes. We keep up to date in a lot of self-development, professional development. It all goes to just the self-development of a human, of yourself.
Right. And like I said, like I told you, I'm taking it even further. I'm actually in school for psychology. So I want to make sure that what I'm saying to you all lines up holistically, not just one side, but the holistically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and physically. That's me. I want you to have it all. And so I would go do what I need to do to make sure you have it all, So that's what I'm saying. So when we say that, it ain't that we just trying to say it because we trying to get rich. No, that ain't it. That ain't. Trust me,
Right.
y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something.
Because my
Your
background is
money.
on mental health and
Yeah,
nursing,
yeah,
business and
yeah.
medical. So our backgrounds do support. And I want to say something you said about the piece of paper. We're not saying having that piece of paper is wrong, or we're not neglecting it or putting it down.
Nah.
You just need, to me, you need both. You need the paper because I don't want someone who wasn't tested on their knowledge not to know the knowledge. I don't want someone working on me that don't have that. But you also need the actually experience, the
Right.
practical experience from that. Not just, I don't want someone just memorize information from the book and pass the test. I want someone that can take in and implement that information and save a life and may, or improve the life of a person.
And right, and there's so many brain dumps now, so anybody can pass tests now because they got the answers out there on the internet. So we
Yeah.
really is like, so what? You pass the test. That's just out there. But if you had a life experience, then we really can rock with you. And that and,
I
it, and it's
was
genuine.
when I was in nursing school, there was a girl I was with. She did great memorizing the information and passing the test with flying colors, but when it came to clinicals, I wouldn't want her working on me. I'm being honest. That's why I say it takes. You can't. It is not worth it to just. And this is for the children watching this too, the teenagers, the people who are in school. It really doesn't benefit you to only memorize the information if you can't recall it and implement it.
Correct.
It really does you no benefit passing the class, but when you're put in that situation, especially when it comes to saving somebody's life and you can only recount what the book says, the words, but you can't do the actions, you're doing both a disservice.
Both for
Actually.
this. Yes. Again, but as we close, we're gonna again. I just like to thank you all. I don't know.
Yes.
I just like to thank you all for showing
Very
up.
grateful. Very
Being
grateful.
we very grateful, and you participate in the comments. You let us know. We are grateful to that because we really, what y'all don't understand is we started this journey about 1.5 years ago, and we really didn't want to be like everybody else. We really
Like
wanted.
2 years. Is it?
Oh yeah, it's going
Well,
on. It's
over 2
almost
years.
August. I think August and September would be 2 years. So almost, yeah, it is almost 2 years. Yeah. So we didn't want to be like anybody else. We wanted to be our authentic selves. We really wanted, but we wanted to help people. We wanted to build people. So the fact that you all show up, and we done did this show when nobody showed up. Nobody
Yeah.
showed up. we still went. We still went hard on it. We still went. But the fact that you all are showing up now, we are grateful for that. And we was consistent. And that's something I need you all to understand. No matter what it looks like.
Out of pocket at times. We stay consistent.
We stay consistent. No matter what it looks like. No matter how it starts. I don't care if nobody
It was
shows up.
ugly, pretty.
Yes.
It was both.
If God told you to do it, do it. I promise you're gonna get rewarded in the end because of your obedience. And I say, I was joking about I'm not joking about the offering, but monetarily, it's not something that's gonna be tangible. It's gonna be the intangible things because the growth that me and she has experienced from doing this show is priceless. It really is. I'm telling you all, you just don't understand where we at today versus when we started. It is a miracle in itself. So we thank the fact that you all show up, man. We are grateful. We don't not take that for granted. We that's why we always shout you out in the comments. We always make sure we acknowledge you because we don't want you to ever think we just take your presence for granted. Even if you ask a question, we gonna answer the question. We ain't got no set. So we do have where we gonna go. But if you've been here long enough, y'all see the show always go the way God wants the show to go. Because that's what we want. We don't want to be so close-minded to our agenda that we don't let God lead the show. That's just who we are. So we thank you all. See, like to say, what'd you say, subscribe or something? What'd you say?
To subscribe, like, share with somebody. If it's not, if all the information not for you or somebody you know that can use this information that we discussed, please share it with them. Like it, like we said, like it, subscribe, and share it. Right. We just want to imprint on the lives of others to make them better, make them successful, and just make a change in the world. We're our own change agents. We just want to share with other people so they can be change agents also.
Correct. So, all right. With that said, if all hearts and minds satisfied, the benediction. Let's go to the Father. Father, I thank you right now for every single person that watched this podcast tonight. Father, I pray Psalms 91 over their life. I pray that no evil shall befall them, no plague shall come to their dwelling, that 1,000 may fall at their side, 10,000 at their right, but only with their eyes would they witness destruction. I thank you for the angels encamped around about them, and I thank you most importantly that they abide under the shadow of your wing. Father, I thank you that no weapon formed against them will prosper. Every tongue that rises up against them shall fail. And Father, I plead the blood of Jesus over them right now. And Father, we thank you for this time that you have set aside for us to empower the people and to educate the people, Father, and that they will be even better after hearing this podcast, and that their life will be in a true trajectory of their authentic self. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.